680's Richard Southern joins us now. Richard, the latest job numbers are in, and Canada saw increases, but all eyes are on Ontario to see how the labour market is performing since the minimum wage increase.
Absolutely. Let's look at the national numbers first, Francis. And we did see job creation, as you say, in the month of February, with 15,400 jobs being created after what was a big loss in the month of January. Unemployment rate down to 5.8%. That's the lowest on records going back more than 40 years, believe it or not. The detail's not quite as encouraging in that gains were due to a big surge in part-time employment, and we saw a big increase in public sector jobs. But yes, province of Ontario, what's happening? Okay, we saw 15,700 jobs created in the province in February, but that comes after 51,000 were lost in January. So all told, about 35,000 jobs lost since the minimum wage went up on January 1st. Wanted to get an expert take on this. Doug Porter is the chief economist at the Bank of Montreal. Doug, what's the impact of the minimum wage on jobs in your mind?
There has been a net loss of 35,000 jobs so far in Ontario, and I think the kind of numbers that some others were talking about were somewhere in the range of between 50 to 100,000 jobs fewer than would have otherwise been the case.
But where were those jobs that were lost, those 35,000? They were not minimum wage jobs, were they?
No, that's a fair point. Even in the month of February, one of the areas where we saw some strength was in accommodation and food services, which is, exactly where you would think a lot of the lower paid jobs would be. Also, retail trade was weak though, and that's another area where we'd be watching closely.
We haven't seen the cataclysmic job losses that some were warning of, but Francis, Doug Porter says we might have to wait as long as a year to see the full impact of the minimum wage increase.
Well, Toys R Us, we've been talking a lot about them recently. So they are apparently getting set to close all their U.S. stores. You're looking at what that may mean for Canadian locations.
Yeah, it looks like it could be game over for Toys R Us in the United States. Multiple reports say it's getting set to liquidate the stores after, of course, filing for bankruptcy in both the U.S. and Canada last September, struggling under $4.9 billion in debt. It has 82 stores in Canada, and Walmart releasing this statement to me this afternoon. It reads, quote, "Our business in Canada is operating as usual. We remain committed to providing customers with great service and the best assortment of merchandise in the toy and baby category. We continue to serve our customers and honor all customer policies and programs and honor all gift cards. We have no information or comment on the U.S. stores." Francis, although a lot of toy sales have gone online, experts say if Toys R Us does disappear, so too could 10 to 15% of toy sales. And as a result, we saw big losses for the toy makers on Wall Street today, with Mattel stock down almost 8% and Hasbro down 2%.
So Toronto home builders had their busiest February since 1948. Is that true?
Yes, it is. And it was, according to the numbers in from the Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, condominiums that were seeing a big boom. And of course, you're downtown, we're still building a lot of condos. And indeed, builders began work on 5,600 units during the month of February, and as you say, the strongest month of February on record, going back to the 40s. Reports suggest that developers are betting that the condo market will be less affected by the headwinds facing the broader housing market. Of course, we've seen a bit of a cooling off since the beginning of the year. Condo prices are holding up 20% on a year-over-year basis. Francis, the average condo will set you back more than $500,000 downtown.
Well, you need some money to travel, and it is March break, and we want to talk about the best airports for a layover, and Toronto is right toward the top.
Yeah. What do you think? Is that interesting? Does that surprise you, Francis?
It does, actually, yeah.
You'd think some of the Asian airports would be on this list, but it's actually Mumbai that tops the list, they say.
It's a pretty airport.
Have you been there?
I haven't, but I've seen pictures.
Yeah, they say it has six lounges, a lot of shopping there. Delhi, number 2 on the list, boasts daycare rooms, more shopping there. But yeah, there's Toronto Pearson, 3rd on the list. This report pointing out that there's a lot of exhibition space, and I suppose they're talking about the newest terminal here. They also point out that you can even get a curated tour of Niagara Falls that leaves from Pearson Airport if you have enough time on your layover. I didn't know that. And Rome, number 3 on the list. So it's not always bad when you have to have a big layover at the airport. You can make the best of it.
I was just in Seoul. They've got a movie theater, a skating rink. There's a spa. We spent some time in some hot tubs in the airport.
Hot tubs?
In the airport, yeah.
Unbelievable.
It was very nice.
You could just go to the the airport for your vacation.
You could. Toronto Airport, yeah, why not? So with this being, the getaway day for March break, you're looking at what it's going to cost in gas to drive to Florida.
Yeah, forget about the airports. Maybe you're driving down. And this really highlights, how much cheaper gas is in the U.S. So this is gas on the I-75 in Canadian dollars, and you can see, Ohio 84 plus cents, 82 in North Carolina, 84 in Tampa, and we can also look at the I-95 if you're taking that route, and prices right down the I-95 much cheaper than what we're seeing in Toronto, about 91 cents in New York, 84 in Maryland, and right now in Florida, the average price 86 cents, Francis.
So could you make it to Virginia on your one tank of gas to get that 79 cents?
You're riding the line. That's a dangerous game.
So where is gas here in Toronto going tonight?
Little bit of good news. It's going down 2 cents. That'll bring the average, though, to $1.23.9. So still an elevated level. But if you hold off to midnight, Francis, you'll get a little bit of a deal. Hope you have a great weekend.
All right. You too, Richard. Take care.